Hello, and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Last time, we got what appeared to be the bad ending. That's a good ending, then. That would be problematic. And this time, as usual with these, we are going to do the good ending. So unless it is significantly longer, this will be the last episode. Run away with AMANE. That's right. I can't leave her alone right now. Alright, we'll run away together.
Yuuji, arigato.
Looking into AMANE's face, I find myself growing strangely contemplative. It hasn't been long at all since we met, but somehow I feel like we've been together for many years already. Well, from AMANE's perspective, I get that a bit more, given your similarities to Kazuki. In that short time, I've gained many priceless links from her. For that very reason, the thought that I might fail to save her from this predicament is immensely frustrating. I bite that lower lip, a sudden physical rush of anger spreading hotly through my body.
Yuuji, また血が。とりあえず怪我を。
Is there anything we can do about them? I suppose you do have... both of us have extra clothing we don't have to be wearing at the moment. I glanced down at AMANE's words, probably because I got myself pointlessly worked up. Fresh bloods began to flow from my wounded shoulder right down my arm, dripping from my fingertips to stain the rocks below dusky red. The gunshot wound's problematic enough, but the blow to my head as I hit the ground must have been more severe than I initially realized. Without a determined effort to stay alert, the world before my eyes is quickly seeming to grow dim. Something salty and liquid begins to flow into my eyes. At first, I assumed the pain's causing me to sweat heavily, but when I wipe away with my hand, I discover my forehead has begun to bleed as well. That is promising. Hey, AMANE, any of that first aid skill you got from when you crashed before become useful for this sort of situation? Yeah. Break time's over. Get running, huh? The man's got no patience. Alright, listen up, AMANE. We're up a shit creek without a proverbial paddle. To be frank, there's a good chance we're both going to die here. Ready to stare down the Grim Reaper? No, you aren't. Thanks for trying, though. Human beings can't acclimatize themselves to the possibility of death as easily as that. The closer death grows, the more the mind flies to sentimentality and reminiscence. Remembering some friend from elementary school, you sniffle like a child, just looking up into the sky at twilight, tears flow down your face. It takes 3 full days of living with death for the paralysis to set in. Yes, paralysis is the only word for it. Death begins to take on meaning in its own right. It becomes the only thing that does matter. Sometimes emotions utterly numb. The survivors stagger into its clutches with a stupid smile on their faces. Might have been the wrong thing to ask of you. Fine, let's try this again. Fine, let's try this instead. I'm not a charitable enough guy to just roll over and die when someone tries to kill me. I'll fight back every inch of the way. And when it comes down to it, I want the last words out of my mouth to be, not yet. If you want to call yourself my woman, you're going to have to do the same. If you're so prepared to die, you can do it fighting at my side. Got that?
いいよ。ユージのためなら。
Thanks. I know I'm a stubborn pain in the ass, but that's what you signed up for.
ユージ、愛してるよ。
Let's do it. Don't make me blush. I'll just bleed out faster.
今すぐキスしたいけど、後だよね。
Don't ask questions if you know the answer. Alright, let's run.
どこまでもね。
How can we actually get out of this situation? Like, it's not the best situation to begin with, but it's not like we were... I don't honestly think we had significantly... Strategically, I can't imagine our current situation to be any better than what we had previously. Maybe we'll get lucky. As he licks his lips, dry from the tension of the hunt, Sakashita Keiji stalked cautiously through the jungle in the pursuit of his prey. Some 10 minutes ago, his fleeing targets split up to run in different directions. Really? After a moment's hesitation, he decides to quietly chase Kazami Yuuji, his initial objective, and the more problematic of the two. Wait, what now? I thought we were staying together. For some time, the boy had been blundering forward like a wounded beast, not even trying to conceal his flight. A crude sneer spread uncontrollably across Sakashita's face as he followed. What do you mean we're spreading? I mean... We're doing the thing that Yuuji was thinking of anyways in this one? Oh, whatever. Deer flee at full speed the instant they realize they're being targeted, and they won't stop until there's no longer the slightest sign of their pursuer. Even afterwards, they'll stand quietly in full alert for 30 minutes to an hour, cautiously ascertaining their safety. If their hunter gets tired of waiting and makes the slightest move, the deer will instantly take flight once more. Back to square one you go, the only thing to do is to wait. Erase yourself, melt into the forest, clear all emotion from your mind. In time, the deer will decide the crisis is past and begin to move normally again. That precise instant is your best window of opportunity. Living things are never more vulnerable than in moments of relief. Of course, human beings are no exception, assuming your goal is that. The moment your desperate flight finally brings you to safety is by far the most dangerous. Kazami Yuuji has piqued Sakashita's interest at first, but his flight has been clumsy, and for the last few minutes he'd shown no signs of movement whatsoever. Perhaps his endurance had simply reached its end.
Kazami Yuuji, 少し買いかぶりすぎた.
And that morning, just after he called out to Kazami Yuuji for the first time, Sakashita had momentarily felt his breath catch in his throat. Something about the man had set Sakashita's hair on end. It was a familiar feeling, the kind of tension he'd known when confronted by a large carnivore. Kazami Yuuji's eyes were bottomlessly, disturbingly dark. And instead of his youthful, even boyish face, Sakashita thought he'd seen the hint of a powerful, unyielding will. And when those eyes flashed over him, they were very much the eyes of a beast appraising potential prey. Sakashita had seen such eyes before. His instructor at an overseas hunting school had looked at him the same way. That instructor had spent many years in the Marine Corps, participating in innumerable combat missions, a true soldier who fought many enemies and outlived them all. Until the vision of her right eye failed, it was said that the instructor had been the greatest sniper even among the Marine elites. Interesting! Hey, guess what? Yuuji trained overseas. I wonder if they know each other. And those black glittering eyes possessed true power, not the hollow threat of some city thug's leering glare. The raw menace of a beast's indifferent scrutiny. His knees trembled at every glance. Kazami Yuuji's eyes gleamed with the same light as the genuine article Sakashita had once known. When the shock passed, the fact brought him something like joy. He'd finally found the thing he had been searching for. His goal was revenge for his daughter. He had been searching for something to stand in his way. An effortless revenge would be meaningless. It would be no worthy tribute, no suitable final achievement, unless he was made to labor for it.
それがどうだ? もう諦めるのか? 残念だよ.
With a short sigh, Sakashita took another step forward, slowly approaching the immobile target. Of course, this movement was executed with perfect stealth. You can afford to be careless yet. There's still a chance this was some form of trap. Squinting in the dim light that filtered through the canopy above, Sakashita cautiously observed the ground ahead. Scattered drops of Kazami Yuuji's blood formed a trail forward into the brush. No obvious traps, but there was no telling what a wounded beast might be capable of. Surely a man with eyes like that wouldn't give up so easily. But in retrospect, there were many things about Kazami Yuuji he did not understand. How could a boy like that, still virtually a child, have acquired such impenetrably dark eyes? Since he was in Mihama Academy, a box made to keep the sick daughters of wealthy men discreetly out of sight, he must have had some unique circumstances. But Sakashida's investigations had yielded little in the way of answers. Wealthy. Was AMANE wealthy? I never got the impression that AMANE was particularly wealthy. Like everyone else, I get. It's not even Sachi, though. Nope, Sachi neither. She wasn't wealthy. Two of them were wealthy. Realistically, two of them. The moment his informant had told him AMANE was in the relationship, well, sorry. Mitru, I forgot Mitru existed. It's been a while since I even thought about her background. The moment his informant told him that AMANE was in a relationship with a man, he gathered all the information he could, none of it particularly revealing. Kazami Yuuji, precise personal history unknown. After an extended period studying overseas, he had transferred to Mihama Academy only months before as a specially invited international scholarship student. He might not even be Japanese. In fact, Sakashida's face-to-face meeting with the man had left him with just such an impression. Kazami Yuuji has spoken without the habitual slang and warped tone you'd expect from a young person these days. His words have been oddly stiff and formal, almost like a foreigner who learned Japanese from a textbook. You know, he might have. Probably not. I guess it would be more speculation on what point he properly learned Japanese. It's probably more something along the lines of military. Instilled that formalness into him. And somehow, the way the boy held himself simply did not feel typically Japanese. Even his build was unusual. He clearly trains his body intensely, but in a way utterly removed from the bodybuilder's quest for inflated masses of decorative muscle. Kazami Yuuji was lean, sinewy, as if forged for a specific purpose. As Sakashida's thoughts rode uneasily through his litany of incompatibility, something like an answer suddenly popped into his head. As an agent from the north. An agent from the north. He'd heard something before about a school there that existed to produce killers. After enduring severe training from a very young age, who said that the students were satisfied their standards would be sent off to foreign countries. He had no idea whether there was any truth to the story, but applied to Kazami Yuuji, it felt shockingly consistent. Even that strangely firm and erect, sorry, I'm like 5. So completely out of place in modern youth. Oh, he saw Yuuji and he saw erectness. Would be entirely understandable as a military deportment. Come to think of it, Sakashida's father had been no different. Men who spent time in the military permanently left with a different set to their face. Even their way of thinking is transformed. No matter what the situation, they're always simultaneously considering the best and worst case scenario. A soldier, or perhaps a civilian in military employ. A contractor. When his thoughts progressed this far, Sakashida drew to a halt. This is a trap. All of a sudden, Sakashida felt very nearly convinced that. He stared cautiously through the trees at Kazami Yuuji's white uniform, some 30 meters ahead. Sakashida Keiji was aware that he suffered from a mild case of night blindness. Although it had no effect on his daily life, recently his astigmatism had been progressing as well. When the lighting grew poor, he had a significant difficulty making out the exact shape of distant objects. In the dim, gloomy forest, where the treetops intercepted most of the sun's light, he could clearly make out the white school uniform on Kazami Yuuji's back, but there was a possibility that the boy was making use of that sharp contrast to deceive him. Once the thought occurred to him, it started to look almost like the jacket had simply been draped over a suitable tree branch. God damn it. I'd actually almost be surprised if he was... It's so different, too. Because when he ran off in the bad ending, Sakashida went after him just like, ha 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 ha, shoot, 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 shoot. And in this one, he believes AMANE's gone, right? They ran into different directions. Even if it's a matter of, Oh, they stayed together for a little bit more, made a quick plan, separated, and now they're gonna try to attack him. Surprise attack, probably. Even if it's a matter of that. It's still the same situation, and he's reacting very differently to it, weirdly enough. Cursing silently to himself, Sakashita lifted his shotgun to his hip once more. His anxiety and nervous tension rendered his movements somewhat sloppy, and the gun rattled in his hand as he brought it to bear. 30 meters ahead, the uniformed figure flinched in surprise and turned in his direction. Just my mind playing tricks on me. Nothing but a child after all. Oh, well done. Lightly exhaling in relief, Sakashita took one step forward to the white uniform. In that instant, you just let your guard down, didn't you? His face contorted with agitation and fright. Sakashita spun around towards the voice, swinging his gun up on his chest, but there's no one behind him. All was it AMANE that ran away, and he followed. Huh. Wrong way. And once again, the voice was behind him. Sakashita wheeled around a second time, only to find himself facing a large, flat boulder. Realizing the boy had thrown his voice off the wall of stone, he ground his teeth in frustration.
Dokoda!
Swinging from side to side, his gun and eyes moving as one, Sakashita searched frantically for the source of the voice. Like I said, wrong way.
Fuzakeru! Dete koi!
The instant Sakashita screamed those words, he heard a bush rustle with movement a few meters behind. Maybe not. But rather than Kazami Yuuji, his eyes and the muzzle of his gun found something else entirely. A long tree branch curved like a tightly drawn bow. The branch instantly whipped forward in Sakashita's face. A split second after he squeezed his eyelids shut, the rough wooden bow struck him in both eyes. White stars exploding across the field of vision, Sakashita staggered backwards, and utterly blind. No shit. By the time the thought ran through his mind, it was already too late. His arm was jerked behind him. An unseen hand twisted the lever of his gun sharply upward, and the break action barrel swung open. I told you that was the wrong way, you know. The voice was behind Sakashita again, but this time he felt warm breath on his ear. This can't be happening. His ear ringing, frantic and terrified, Sakashita tried to turn towards his enemy, but just as his head began to rotate, a hand reached out from behind and firmly seized him by the face. 4 fingers sunk down into his eyeballs as if to gouge it out of the socket, disabling any attempt at escape. This is going so much better. It felt like he was deceived way more easily in this one. As the long middle finger of Kazami Yuuji's hand dug savagely into his right eye, Sakashita Keiji shrieked in agony and horror. What kind of monster is he? The instant the thought ran through Sakashita's mind, a heavy kick to the back of his knee sent him sprawling forward. His head, yanked back against the momentum of his body, came to rest defenselessly against Kazami Yuuji's chest, chin up and utterly exposed. He's going to kill me. Sakashita's hand, still holding his gun, was pinned against his back, his shoulder and elbow screamed with pain, bones audibly cracking. With his weak hand, the only possible means of fighting back was desperately clutching at Yuuji's wrist in an attempt to keep his eyeball in his socket. He was completely powerless. If the man behind him stabbed his throat with a sharp branch, let alone a knife, he would simply die. Even as he screamed the words, Sakashita knew it was a laughable, hypocritical request. He knew this man wasn't about to stop anytime soon, no matter how nicely he asked. But if it was distracted Kazami Yuuji from inflicting pain on him for even the briefest of moments, any words would do. Sorry, not quite. The same dispassionate whisper as always. Under these circumstances, it sounded so pitiless and so cruel that Sakashita involuntarily swallowed all the saliva in his mouth. As the warm liquid made its way down Sakashita's throat, his utterly exposed Adam's apple bobbed violently up and down. Close, though. Everyone always gets so very close. What? You think I'd hesitate? Unfortunately for you, I'm used to patricide, especially when it comes to worthless scum-sucking fathers like you.
どうしてこんなことに
Well, apparently it was fated, so... Very simple, Mr. Sakashina. You only know how to kill prey that doesn't fight back. And you picked a fight with someone who only knows how to kill human beings. Here's a tip. If you want to kill a human being, you need to go in prepared for the possibility you'll be killed instead. Oh, shut the hell up already. Oh, I didn't even realize Yuuji did that. I was just like, that tension just strained out of the room. Good job, Yuuji. It did end up going very differently. Like, even logically so, in some way. Like, he treated the fleeing, I assume, AMANE wearing, Yuuji's, shirt. He treated her very differently. Clumsily or not, maybe it was the lack of effort. I don't know. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to quite fit. But both ways are believable anyways. It's just a bit weird that it's so distinctly different. It really is one of the big things that made a difference. Because if you went after AMANE like you did Yuuji in the other one, just shooting, continuously shooting and forcing her to run and run and run and run, then yeah, that would not have happened like that. As Sakashita collapses to the ground, I let out a brief sigh, then crouched down to strip him of his hunting shotgun and equipment. Using a nylon rope and packing tape I find in his backpack, I quickly restrain him. Yeah, somehow or other. AMANE tentatively draws near, taking in the scene. Accepting my school uniform from her outstretched hand, I gingerly slip it back on. Staring down at Sakashita's limp, tightly bound body, AMANE furrows her brow anxiously. Why the hell would I bother tying up a dead man? He's alive. We could leave him restrained out here, though. Is it... You do remember who we're talking about here? Well, yeah, that's understandable. I have no intention of adding another layer to AMANE's trauma. That happens to be the main reason this man's still breathing. It's all good in retrospect since it worked out, but to be honest, that was one hell of a tight scrape. Yeah, if it didn't work out, yeah, things would have gone badly. Pouting, AMANE holds a hand to the back of her head. We devised a plan on the run. A trap using a tree branch to momentarily rob Sakashita of his vision. And what made it possible was... AMANE's own hair. How? With no weapons on hand, we had to devise our own. As we ran, those long, healthy locks quickly caught my attention. On average, her hairs were a full 120 centimeters long. Okay, weirdly specific. By tying many strands together, we could use them as substitute trap wires. Oh, for the specifically that big branch. Like, okay. At first, AMANE clapped her hands happily, saying something about finally finding a practical application of digital communication? No, that's not really what that means. After having nearly 30 strands of hair yanked out by her scalp, she was half crying from the intense pain. When did we have time to do this? When did we have time to do this? Oh, it's still going on. No, okay. How? Oh my goodness, it doesn't go back far enough. Did he mention something about, like, them continuing on for, like, another fucking, like, half hour or something? With occasional stops or something? Well, she's half crying from the intense pain. Don't be mad, alright? I'm grateful. You're pretty damn near perfect back there. Squatting down in the darkness in my uniform to lure Sakashita into the open, she'd manipulate the strand of wire in her hand to provide the crucial distraction with impeccable timing. There might have been 30 meters between them, but she was still at gunpoint. Her composure was nothing short of remarkable under the circumstances. You made a 30 feet wire out of hair? When... Well done, AMANE. This strategy couldn't have succeeded without you. You're getting an official commendation from something. AMANE smiles as I drop my head on her head and gently scratch her scalp. Her cheeks flushing pink, kind of feeling like petting a smart overgrown puppy that came running back with a tennis ball in its mouth.
ねえ、もう終わったんだよね。
Oh, you want to do it on Sakashita's unconscious body? Got it, let's go. No, God. Whatever. My only response to AMANE's question is a furrowed brow. I've seen that expression before. Yes, we have. It's the third kind of face a woman can show you. Not the face of a woman you can kiss. Not the face of a woman you can't kiss. It's the so-called special case expression. Staring blankly at the expectant, almost demanding face, I suddenly feel very, very tired. Not yet. An expedition isn't over until you reach the front door. Save it for when we get back.
もうユージ
We're going home. I am exhausted.
もう
Impassively allowing AMANE's disgruntled mutterings to roll over my aching back, I lead her down the mountain. Sakashita's father we leave on the spot, trussed like a turkey. Once my cell phone finally picks up signal, I give JB a call and push everything under her. Yay! I was wondering how we were going to deal with him. Like, we couldn't just, call the police. And naturally, that shaggy-headed dork doesn't take the news well. It takes a good deal of patient effort to explain the situation, and I end up sentenced to present myself at headquarters for an oral hearing delivery of a detailed written report. The gunshot wounds on my back are painful enough, but now I've got a pain in the ass to deal with as well. Hey, you can't just shove everything onto her and expect to have to do nothing about it. 1 week after the incident, the wounds on my back had mostly stopped aching. My right arm still supported a thick sling hanging around my neck, and I paid a visit to JB's office at the company headquarters to offer my formal explanation.
また面倒な仕事を増やしてくれたわね。
Oh, any goddamn day. Yeah, you have my sincerest, truly heartfelt apologies.
あんたってはいっつもそう。朝子もそうだった。
Great! Isn't that what you wanted? Guess it comes with being, I-9029. Might as well just resign yourself to your fate.
何よ偉そうに。だいたいそんな怪我までして。電話では聞いてなかったわよ。
Oh, does that matter? Figured I'd save that for the formal report. What, were you worried or something?
うぬぼれるんじゃないわよ。あなたの体や命はあなたのものじゃないのよ。大事な国の資産なの。わかってる？
Yeah, I understand.
ちっともわかってないじゃないのよ。どれだけ心配したと思ってるの？
Oh, so you were worried. What, so you were worried after all?
してないわよ。私はその国防装置としてのあなたの損壊を心配してたっていうか。
So you weren't worried, but you were worried about something specific, but the idea of you being worried. Ooh. You are so full of it.
うるさい！ぐちゃぐちゃ言わないの？なんなのよ、もう。
Is it just me, or has JB been veering dangerously close to Michiru territory lately? Maybe it really does come with the hair color. Ooh. Come on, Michiru's better than that. So, what happened to that Sakashita man afterwards?
あら、今朝の新聞読んでないの？
People read newspapers still? I spent the morning flirting with Amane, so unfortunately not.
坂下刑事死んだわよ。
And that's big enough news to make the newspaper. Dead.
ええ、収容された病院の屋上から飛び降り自殺したらしいわね。新聞にはそう書いてあったし、今朝のニュース番組やワイドショーでもそう言っているわ。
I wonder who pushed him. I guess that sort of spectacle might make the newspaper news quite specifically. Suicide, eh?
自殺の原因は不明ってことになっているけど、おそらくは娘の死をきっかけとした転落人生を苦にといったところじゃないかしらね。
He didn't need to die. He didn't. If he was the sort to kill himself, I'm pretty sure the incident we're here to discuss now never would have happened in the first place.
今回の事件？何？それ。
God damn, okay, great. You covered it up.
事件なんて起きてもいないし、坂下氏は人生を儚んでの自殺。それが全てよ。
Well, whatever. Did he give him a push?
いやーねー、人聞きの悪い。
Did you do it yourself? Who did you have do it? Was it that girl? I don't even remember her name. Darker hair, white hair? Or darker skin, white hair? When your voice gets all high-pitched like that, there's always something ugly going on behind the scenes.
一応ね、他にも思いついたんだけどね。娘が死んで生きる目標と理性を失った坂下氏は、猟銃を手にして無差別に学生を襲い始めるの。街中で猟銃を持った坂下氏が「なんで生きてんだお前もお前も!」とか叫びながら通り魔的に猟銃を乱射しているところをサットに射殺されて決着がつく。
That seems much more difficult to, fake.
どう？
That's a pretty macabre imagination you've got there. Even in the best case scenario, there would have to be heavy casualties and massive media attention.
でしょ？だから彼は自殺したのよ。今は大事件で国民の目をそらせるような政治問題もないしね。地味な粉飾で終わらせたってわけ。わかる？
Whatever. Now pretend it is.
はい、堀子さん。
And you say I'm full of myself. Can I leave now?
結構よ。なに？そんなにあまねちゃんが恋しいの？
Looking at your hair too long makes my eyes sting.
金髪は嫌いじゃないくせに。
Yeah, my first thought was Michu. Micha. Depends on the woman's growing on. Alright then, I'll be going.
あ、ユージ、ちょっと待って。
Oh, you need something else?
前にあなたが言ってた予備社員の件だけど、条件付きで OK が出たわよ。
Conditional? Conditional, is it?
そう、条件。今のままではダメだけれど、昇級試験を受けて合格すれば OK よ。
Why? Head office examinations or Japanese branch examinations?
両方。いつまでも特務伍長ではいられないでしょ。少尉になったら予備士官に登録してあげる。
So he has to dedicate himself to this, okay, for a while. You're telling me to go back to school yet again?
自宅から通えるように手配はしてあげるわよ。
Where's home? Mihama? What a pain in the ass.
あなたの強制任期はまだ1年半もあるわ。ゆっくり考えなさいな。
My current rank is 5th from the bottom of the table, and she's telling me to jump another 5. If it was just HQ's exam, it'd be absurd enough, but demanding I also pass a Japanese test for every rank is downright sadistic. If I keep working the way I am now, it'll take a decade of serious effort to hit that rank. Even if I renew my contract and accept this training course, I can't see it ending in less than 7 years. Talk about delayed gratification. So, that's how it is.
つまり、なんだろう、専門の学校に通うわけ?
It's an interesting thought, too, because if they're going to make him dedicate himself to studies, rather than, practical application, let's call it that, then that means it's actually sort of technically safer, isn't it? Like, he won't be able to get out of it as quickly to the point where he is in that reserve situation, which is basically, he can basically go do what he wants. Which is basically, he can go do what he wants, but, still. It's safer, right? It sort of sounds like that at the very least. Since they'll want him to dedicate more time to that rather than being constantly on missions or whatever. That sort of thing. Probably. Yeah.
じゃあ、転校しちゃうの?
No, I'd be starting the new school in 1.5 years. In other words, after my graduation.
すぐじゃないんだ.
That's right. After graduating from here, I'll be going to new school for about 7 years, at a guess. Mind holding off on the marriage until after that? Well, of course you mind. Yep. Dumb question.
ユージが待ってろって言うなら待つよ.
No, that won't be necessary. I'll talk it over with the higher-ups. There are restrictions on marriage as well, but once my field term is over, things should ease up slightly. I doubt it'll be a problem.
本当? じゃあ、ユージがここを卒業したら結婚してくれるの?
Okay, got that backwards, Amane. I'm the one asking you. Please marry me.
わかった! する! 結婚する!
Didn't even have to think that over. Well, it's going to be a little while yet, but thank you. We'll make this work.
任せて! じゃあ、私はユージより1年早く卒業するから、その間に自分の仕事見つけておくよ.
And you won't be able to stay at the dorms, would you? A job. Why?
だって、ユージは卒業してもまた学生になるんでしょ? だったら、私が稼いで食べさせてあげる.
Well, you are going to school and everything, so... Well, even as soon I'll be earning, 106,600 yen monthly stipend, with a bonus twice a year. And from what JP tells me, the head office covers a certain percentage of housing costs and other living expenses, including additional allowance for married employees.
じゃあ、私は専業主婦になればいいのかな?
Just do what you want. You don't have to get... Well, I suppose they do have a weird situation. If you want to work, I won't stop you. Shouldn't really be necessary, though.
じゃあ、子育てに専念できるね。赤ちゃんの靴下を編む練習でも始めようかな。
For 7 years, let's see, 106,000, going to school for 7 years. 1.5 years down the line, what are they? Mid-teens, so they'll still be in their teens when that starts up, so go into the early 20s. You could have a long time without even having kids. Man, she's quick on that trigger for one. Well... So yeah, it was 106,000 yen, so if you do the rule of thumb, that would probably be more like $1,000. That's not that much for two to live on. I know it gets other expenses, but I guess you'd basically be living below the poverty line, even with the other expenses. Then again, the poverty line is typically lower than a lot of people would expect, isn't it? No, maybe it would be around there, a little above. I think you're jumping the gun a bit on that one. It's jumping the gun a bit. Still a ways off. Those thoughts prove surprisingly transient. Time always passes more quickly than you'd expect. All too quickly, half a year had passed, and Amane graduated from Miyama Academy. And no one asked any questions about Yuuji getting shot. No one. That said, she immediately rented out an apartment within walking distance of the school, so I didn't exactly have to go out of my way to see her. In fact, she made a routine of coming to the student dorm every morning, making breakfast for me and Makina, and passing us our lunch boxes. In the evening, we'd eat dinner at AMANE's apartment. This pattern held for maybe a month or so. Soon enough, Makina grew irritated with the effort of walking between the dorm and AMANE's building. After renting the room next door, Makina presented the school with an application demanding special permission to commute under the pretense of ensuring a secure living environment. Somehow, she forced Chizuru to sign off on it. Makina's more willing to walk to school every day than just to walk there for dinner. Okay. Next door neighbors might not sound too bad, but in reality, Makina is soon virtually squatting in AMANE's room again, just as when they've been living in the dorm together. Another year after that, this time was my turn to graduate. And it's planned for some time now. I entered a special technical school specified by headquarters. In addition to the monthly written exams, my new student life involved a regular, sometimes completely unannounced, physical fitness test, often amounting to something like a very rigorous, painful game of musical chairs. At first, I was living in AMANE's room and commuting, but the daily travel on top of the grueling training proved too much, and I rented a room near my new school's campus and returned to AMANE on the weekends, a pattern that held for quite some time. But after about 2 years of this temporary solution, Makina finally chirped, "When are you gonna get married already?" Startled, AMANE and I looked into each other's faces. Wow, this is elaborating on the future of what happens much more in detail than a lot of them do, don't they? Isn't it? Having reached the mutual conclusion that it was in fact about time we got around to that, we were married soon thereafter, finally fulfilling our promise to each other. And not long ago, 5 years after my graduation from Mihama, after various trials and tribulations, I cleared the last of my required exams, well ahead of schedule, by virtue of my superb grades. At long last, I entered the permanent reserve, gaining a degree of freedom. For my day job, I chose to become a teacher at my alma mater, Mihama Academy. Is Chizuru still around 5 years later? I wonder how much really career vertical mobility there really is at a school or a post like Mihama Academy, even in that principal role. Hey, need a gym teacher or something? It'd been years since we talked about this, and I'd asked half as a joke, but here I am, ready to teach a new crop of Mihama students their English. Really? You're teaching English? Or is that just the gym teacher role? Because I think that might be a trope in Japanese stuff. Life works in mysterious ways, as they say. Oh my goodness. You're still... This is... 6.5 years later. 6.5 years later. Are you just here because you want to be here? Yeah, life is just full of mysteries. For example, why is Makina still a student here? That's probably number 1 on my list at the moment. Okay, why is she still in Mihama?
あれ？知らなかったの？あの子、今年で8年生だよ。でも、来年は留年できないから、いよいよ卒業かな？
So she just kept failing? From what AMANE tells me, Makina repeated her grade 7 times in a row, ending up something of a super freshman. My alright, her age should be a serious problem, but Makina was so childish to begin with. Even now, it feels like her appearance is just caught up with the other girls. What, did she actually continue to grow in the next 6.5 years?
あれ、ボバ太郎の音だね。マキナ帰ってきたかな？
Wait, what? She poached Bobataro off you?
ああ、まあね。私はもう乗らないし、マキナに免許取ったらあげるって言ったら、本当に免許取ってきちゃったんだもの。
Oh, I'm not, I suppose.
ただいまー！あまねー！今日のおやつなに？おかえり、マキナ。外から帰ったらまずは手を洗いなさい。おやつはそれからよ。
There's a reason Amane stopped riding her bike. Specifically, because she's given birth to a child. Wow, this really is going in depth. Naturally, I had a hand in this. Just a hand. Just the one. Careful now.
こらこら、嘘を教えるな嘘を。っていうかあんた、落とさないでよ。
大丈夫だってば。私だって昔の私とは違うのよさ。
そう言いつつ、この前その子を肩車してて天井の鴨居に頭をぶつけたの誰よ。
私か。そうか、ごめんな。でも女の子はちっとぐれ頭悪い方がモテるんだぜ。
Don't be ridiculous. Women are all about cooking. As long as she can make a decent meal, even a bit of an ugly girl won't have any trouble finding a man to bring back the bacon.
大丈夫なのよさ。だってアマネーの子なのよ。絶対お料理の上手な子に育つのよ。
さ、その子まだ3ヶ月だよ。どんな子になるかなんてわからないわよ。
She will be a beauty.
リッチになる。
ビッチにはなりません。
そいつはどうかな。アマネーのエロ遺伝子が組み込まれているのよ。きっとどうしようもないスケベ女に育つのよさ。
I wouldn't bet against that.
ねえお兄ちゃん、もしこの子が突然ろくでもない男を連れてきて、この人と結婚するって言い出したらどうする？
Kill him. It's what I do. Come on. The hell are you talking about? There's only one thing to do. Rip off my shirt and yell, "All right, bring it on, punk."
それじゃうちのお父さんと同じじゃん。
Oh, is that what happened? Right. I beat the living hell out of your dad, fair and square. A bride is something you win, not something you're given. Oh my goodness. They should have put that in this. Oh, that would have been great.
おかげでお父さん、腰を悪くして3日ぐらいお店休んだんだよ。
Hey, it's his own fault at this point. I hope that didn't hurt them too much financially. He's the one who ignored your mother's approval. Started shouting, "If you want money, you'll have to take her over my dead body." Sometimes words just aren't enough.
ほんじゃ、もしこの娘を嫁にもらいに来たアホがいたらぶっ飛ばすの？相手がアラブの石油王でも？
What are you talking about, Magina? Well, I don't really care what he does for a job, as long as he can protect my daughter no matter what. If you call yourself a man, then defend your woman with your life. If you can't promise me that, then go the hell home. No, if a spineless idiot like that has the nerve to even show up, I'll freaking kill him. For real.
殺すなよ。っていうか、あんたに勝てる男なんているの？それに、その子が好きだって言うなら、それでいいじゃない。
I mean, a little bit higher standards than that. You're already turning into the classic overindulgent mother, you know that? But I guess you do have a point this time. I wouldn't completely ignore my daughter's opinion on the matter. Just mostly. If she asked for my blessing, I'd ask her a question right back. Would you throw your life away for this man? And if after a day passes her opinion still hasn't changed, I guess I might be able to sorrowfully approve of the marriage. Probably. Possibly. Maybe.
なんだその曖昧な後半。
What's so funny?
なんか幸せだなってさ。ただそう思っただけ。
I see.
そう、すっごく幸せ。あんなことがあった私がこんなに幸せでいいんだろうか。そんな不安に時々襲われる。それでもこの人と一緒なら、ユージと一緒なら、きっと きっといつか私の罪や罰が許される日が来る。そんな予感がするの。やがて牧野も学園を卒業し、私たちの部屋から出ていくことになった。卒業後はドイツにある美術の学校に留学するとのことで、当分日本へは帰ってこないらしい。いたらいたでうるさい子だけれど、いざいなくなるとなんだか自分の娘が出て行ったみたいで少し寂しい。美浜で仕事をしながら予備社員の仕事を続けていたユージも、ここ最近はめったに呼び出されなくなり、年に数日間の教官としての仕事をするだけになっていた。そんな予備社員の仕事もあと1年もすれば引退の時期らしい。結婚して20年。結局私はこの年になるまでユージがどこの会社で何の仕事をしていたのかを知らないでいる。別に知りたいとも思わないし、ユージは私との約束通りいつも無事に帰ってきてくれた。だったらそれでいい。それ以上は贅沢という。まだユージは夜中に苦しげな声を上げて目を覚ますことがたびたびあって、それだけが少し気がかりだった。声をかければ何でもないとだけ答えるユージに無力感だけが残った。そして気がつけばもう40年。
Well, like, okay, wow, this. Aren't there supposed to be sequels? Aren't there actually supposed to be sequels to this? I thought so.
私たちの娘も結婚し、来年には孫が生まれてくるという。私ももうすっかりおばあちゃんだけれど、相変わらずユージと共に穏やかな老後というものをそれなりに満喫している。年とともにいろいろなものが穏やかになってきたのだろう。時間の流れさえ穏やかに感じられるようになり、そしてユージは夜中に苦しげな声を上げて何度も目を覚ますことがなくなった。隣の布団で穏やかな顔で眠るユージを見て、ああ、この人の戦争はやっと終わったのだと。やっと地獄から帰ってくることができたの。そんな穏やかで静かな日々から半年後、ユージに癌が見つかった。
Oh, damn.
痛くても苦しくても我慢してしまうユージのこと。発見した時にはすでに手遅れで、余命は5ヶ月と診断された。それでも私たちの生活に大きな変化はなかった。当たり前に生き、当たり前の毎日を送り、また当たり前の今日が来る。余命5ヶ月と診断されていたユージは、まるで計算していたかのように、5ヶ月目の日曜日の朝、私たち家族に看取られて奇跡に入った。ユージも死んで、ただ一人残された私は、ユージが死に際に残した「まだお前の罰は終わらないぞ」との言葉を守り続け、その後も「ありがとう」を言い続ける余生を送る。ユージを失った生活も思ったほど寂しくはなかった。目を閉じればユージと過ごした思い出が走馬灯のようにいくつも思い出すことができる。ユージとは何度も喧嘩はしたけれど、思い返せば全てが楽しい思い出で、出した食事に一度も文句を言われたことがないのが私の誇りだった。きっと私ももう長くはないだろう。もう思い残すこともあまりないけれど、
いつでもまたすぐに会えると思えば、少しぐらいは待たせても構わないだろう。私は相変わらずそういうところで少しだけユージには意地悪なのだ。ユージが死んで5年目の夏、数えてみればあの人と出会ってから50回目の夏になる。東京で暮らす娘夫婦が一番下の子を連れて帰省した。久しぶりに見た孫の顔は幼い頃の私によく似ているような気がする。この子が生まれた時、ユージもなんだかお前に似ているなと言っと今年が最後の夏になる。そんな予感がしていた私は、義理の息子が運転する車の後部座席に乗って夏休みの旅行に出かけた。
You know, I was sort of expecting you to say riding off motorcycle.
向かった先は、私が事故に遭って生き残った樹海が見下ろせる公園。私の唯一の心残りといえば、風見和樹が私のために残したあの荷物だけだった。ここはあの頃とあまり変わらない。もうここを訪れる人もあまりいないのだろう。現場へと続く山道はすっかりと荒れ果て、老いた私の足腰ではとてもではないけれど登っていけるような道ではなかった。
How long does it take paper to decompose?
入山を諦めた私は、日の当たる場所に置かれたバス停のベンチに腰掛け、現場に向かって手を合わせる。目を閉じれば、まだあの頃のバスケ部の仲間たちの顔を思い出す。思い出す顔の一つ一つは、今でも苦痛に歪み、怒りや悲しみをたたえている。みんなごめんなさい。そしてありがとう。こんなに長生きしてしまった私はいつになったら許されるのだろう。もう私に罰を与えてくれるユージはいないというのに。ねえ、和樹、私どうしよう。私一人じゃ。
ねえ、おばあちゃん。
Suzune. Yeah, that looks like AMANE. Quite a lot.
なーに？
私のおじいちゃんってどんな人だったの？
Stingy motherfucker.
そっか。おじいちゃんが死んだ時、あんたはまだ小さかったからね。
なんかね、おばあちゃんが元気ないみたいだから、おじいちゃんの話をしてきなさいってママが言ったの。
相変わらずだね、あの子も。変に気が回って不器用に優しいところは、あの子はおじいちゃんに似たのかもしれないね。
おじいちゃんは優しい人だった？
そうね。そしてとても臆病で勇敢な人だった。
臆病で勇敢？
臆病というよりは何事にも慎重で、何でもよく考えて行動する人だった。そしてどんなに困難な状況であっても、誰もが諦めてしまうようなことに直面しようとも、 何クソと立ち上がる勇気を持っていた人だったわね。覚えてないあんたに言っても。
時々むちゃくちゃを言うけど、優しいおじいちゃんだったのは覚えてるよ。
そっか。
おじいちゃんが死んじゃって寂しい？
どうだろうね。実はそれほどでもないけれど、やっぱりどこかで。でもきっと私にももうすぐお迎えが来て、またおじいちゃんに会えるよ。若い頃は死ぬのがあんなに怖かったのに。
おばあちゃんは死ぬの怖くないの？
怖くはないけれど、少し寂しいかな。
寂しいって何が？
そうね。私はきっと地獄へ行くんじゃないかなって、そんな風に思うの。
There's a hell, and you want to be with Yuji. You're going to hell. Or you'd want to go to hell.
そこには多分知り合いはいなくて、だからそれが少し寂しい。
Oh no, Yuji. If there is Yuji, definitely. Sakashita, too. Both Sakashitas, actually. Yeah, definitely.
それは大丈夫じゃないかな。5年間悪いことをしなかったら天国へ行けるんだって前におじいちゃんが言ってたよ。
Oh, that's a dangerous thing to tell a child.
そんな運転免許じゃあるまいし。っていうか、あんたそれ何を手に持ってるの？
これお守りだよ。昔ね、おじいちゃんの病院にお見舞いに行った時にもらったの。これね、どんな危機的状況でもこれを持っていれば必ず守ってくれるんだって。すっげえ効果あるからお前にやるっておじいちゃんがくれた。
あの人まだそんなもの持ってたんだ。懐かしくも、その小さな犬のぬいぐるみは昔まだ私たちが学生だった頃、あの人に持たせたものだ。
Oh, at the festival, right? Unless I'm remembering it correctly.
ところどころがほつれてはいても、何度も修繕した跡がある。こんな子供じみたお守りをずっと大事にしてくれていたのかと思うと、それと同時にこの子はそのぬいぐるみの中に私の毛が入っていることを知らないのだと思えばおかしくもなる。
Okay, yes, I am remembering this incorrectly. I don't think they sell those at the fair or festivals or whatever. Oh, when did that happen? God, I don't think this happened prior or after the flashback. I'm just trying to... I don't know. I'm not remembering a time where this came up, at the very least.
さすがにもうボロボロだね。なんだか嫌な凄みが出てる感じ。
だから効き目がありそうなんじゃない？おじいちゃんはこのワンちゃんに何度も命を救われたって言ってたよ。
On the missions, yeah? The jobs.
そんな話、私には一度もしてくれなかったけどな。
しまった！恥ずかしいからおばあちゃんには黙ってろって言われたの忘れてた。
あの人らしいというかなんというか。
Oh, you did something bad, Suzune. You can't go to heaven for another 5 years.
そうだ、おばあちゃんにワンちゃんのお礼するのも忘れてた。
お礼？
おじいちゃんがね、幸運の犬っころをやるからおばあちゃんにお礼をしろって言っててね。ちょっと待ってね、確かね、いつか渡そうと思ってお財布の中に入れておいたはずなんだけど、
なんだろう、何をくれるの？
あった、はいこれ。 にあげる。
ん？それは？
これはね、天国行きのチケット。
Oh, okay.
天国行きの。
そう、これさえあれば天国行き間違いなし。
You know, they used to sell those back, what did they call them? Shit. Like, there's I don't remember, but they used to sell them, and that was, like, a big part of, like, why, Protestant, like, the Protestant Reformation, right? For Christianity. Oh. What a stupid thing for me to think of at this point.
ありがとう。
I don't remember what they're called. Cute gesture, though.
おそらくは落書き帳の切れ端だろう。長方形の画用紙にはクレヨンでお花や動物の絵が描かれ、年をとって老眼がだいぶ進行した私の目にも、そこにははっきりと私は天国へ行ってもいいのかな。
どうして行ったらいけないの？おじいちゃんも待ってるよ。
Hell nah. Hell nah. Yuuji, kill it for life, yeah. I don't know. God, that's stupid.
そうなんだけどね。
大丈夫。きっともうみんな許してくれるよ。だっておばあちゃんはいい人だもの。
そうかな。
そうだよ。あたし、おばあちゃんがいてくれて嬉しいもん。ね、おばあちゃん。あたしのおばあちゃんでいてくれてありがとうね。
その言葉が嬉しくて、上手にありがとうが言える子に育ってくれたことが嬉しくて、こんな私にありがとうと言ってくれる存在が嬉しくて、私は涙が止まらなくなった。ありがとう。私も嬉しい。ありがとう。そしてユージもありがとう。私生きていて本当によかった。今私は救われたような気がします。いろいろなことがありました。いろいろなことに悩んだり、自分で自分を苦しめたりもして、決して穏やかだったとは言えない人生だったけれど、それでも決して悪い人生ではなかったなと思えるのは、あなたが私と一緒にいてくれたからだと今改めてそう思うのです。だから心からありがとうとあなたに言いたくて、今私もそちらへ参ります。そうしたらまたいじめてくれる？ねえ、ユージ。
おばあちゃん、どうしたの？泣いてるの？なんだ、おばあちゃん笑ってるのね。よかったね、おばあちゃん。おばあちゃん、寝ちゃったの？
Not a good time, Amane. Not a good time. Don't traumatize her.
孫の声が少しずつ遠くなる。見上げた青い空には白い雲。まるで手が届きそうなその雲の隙間に、懐かしい美浜の制服を着たあの人が、あの頃の若い姿のまま、その姿に年がいもなく大声を上げて泣きそうになる私を見て、AMANEと 呼ぶあの人の声に、私は手を伸ばす。握り返したあの人の手は、あの頃のまま、とても温かい手をしていた。それがとても嬉しくて、その手を取った瞬間、私はこれで全てが許されたのだと。
Whoops on that. It is sometimes just hard to tell. Oh, the credits this time, maybe, possibly. Ooh. Yes. Okay. Well, and that was AMANE's route. Admittedly, like, it was a nice ending. It, well, a little itty bitty long, but I can sort of say this about a lot of it. I can totally understand if you... Yes, those beautiful nostalgic memories that go with the tone of the moment perfectly. Great CG for this. At least they censored it for me. Oh my goodness, do they show the sex scenes ones in this? Wait, do they? You think they might? Oh, don't. Please don't. I can imagine them doing that though. So, it's interesting. The discussion of the pacing on this, I think if you were really enraptured in the story and the tension involved, sure, it probably would have been fine. And I think that's the case with most things, though, that pacing loses its importance, especially when it's just, you know, a bit longer than it needed to be. That sort of thing, where it drags a little bit here and there, if you're truly engrossed in it. So I don't really think that's necessarily disputed that at the very least. So I guess my point is, I sort of felt this throughout the entirety of Grisaia, bar the common route, because that was primarily slice of life, and that was just having fun, funny stuff, and God, they actually put them in here. Really? Really? Why? Why? That's so dumb! Okay, just ignore that, everyone, please. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Did you just not have enough CGs to make this work without them? Oh my goodness. Okay, it's been such a long time since the awkwardness of that became a relevant thing too. This has really two very distinct segments of this run, doesn't it? The awkward sexy time and the fucking flashback, and then I guess the after the flashback thing, which is really just more fallout from the flashback than anything. Oh my goodness. So it's interesting, the ending in particular. It's nice, and it's a good story. I'll talk about the pacing whenever I feel like talking about the pacing, because I do think you could have cut it down like by a fourth and had the exact same effect, really. The exact same effectiveness, essentially. With the same sort of... You could hit the same plot points, you could hit a lot of that. You could just cut out a little the fluff here and there, cut everything down maybe by like a fourth, and I think... Okay, I talked about this before, I'm not going to talk about it again. That's my opinion on it, and I'm probably not going to change anything soon. But in that same frame of mind, I do believe, interestingly, that, oh, we jumped straight to this, man. There really were not CGs in between that, eh? Well, I suppose it would be bad if they showed the CG of the escape, yeah? The fucking, like, Sakashita. Oh my goodness. Okay, the thought I was trying to get to is that the ending's nice, but I wonder if it would have had more impact if I was more personally convinced of Yuuji and AMANE's feelings for each other. I guess there's just an aspect of it that doesn't 100% convince me that it's this like romantic true love sort of thing. Well, I suppose they really aren't trying to play it off as a true love. Like, I could buy that they're in love, but it almost feels like half of it is like, I could buy that they're in love with the role the other person plays in their life, and the fact that they play that role well, rather than necessarily loving the person for being that person, essentially. That's... It's interesting, because maybe it's just because of how I see love and relationships and whatnot. I can understand developing those feelings, romantic such, especially some of the Yuuji stuff. I was completely unconvinced that he really had feelings for her and more just liked what she was in his life, until he got to the point where it's just like, I love her because she does all this for me, that sort of thing. And no, you know what, I can... Oh, that's interesting. I can totally buy the idea that he loves her, but I'm not 100% convinced in the same way that it's this complete 100% dedication, love them aspect of it. Basically, it feels like a twisted love, which, you know, in a way, which I guess might be the point. I'm not really against that potentially being essentially what it boils down to. That does completely seem like how it typically would be. Have most of them had this? Huh. And at this point I'm rambling, so if I'm not making sense, then blame me. Because I might not be making sense. I'm rambling whatever's on my mind at this point. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good route. I didn't think it was great. Honestly, I'm not sure I thought any of the routes were great. I thought the common route was fantastic. I don't think any of the character routes that I've done have been great. I think they've been good. I think they're completely worth doing. I think there are moments in them where the pacing really does drag it down a little bit. Because I've done plenty of... I keep going on about pacing, but this is something that's been consistent throughout them, where every single route where I felt there's been times where it's just... Ooh, this is dragging. Every single route, honestly. Like, I enjoyed them all, but there's just been those segments that I felt like either this, like, segment is just dragging a bit, cut it down a little bit, make it a little bit more succinct and brief and getting to the point a little bit. That, between that and the drama not always exactly, like, hitting the notes quite how they want to, like being a little off tune, I guess would be the best comparison. You know, I'm being very critical of it. I do enjoy them. I have enjoyed them quite a bit. Just the common route, really, in the end, was the thing I enjoyed the most. And while I've enjoyed the rest of this, I don't really know what point I'm trying to make. That I enjoy the comedy considerably more than the drama aspect of the series at the very least. I really like the comedy aspects. Like the slice of life, calming. I felt it was very, very... I felt like it was as good as anything I've played visual novel-wise when it was in those moments. Everything else has been good. And I really can't honestly say that outside of moments that are just excellent, like AMANE escaping in the flashback, or the end of Sachi's route. The moment that just, it hit me so significantly emotionally. That the dramatic actual character routes have really touched me, or got into me in the way that really pulled me and engaged me in the same way the slice of life and common route stuff did. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do here is give my opinion on it. I don't think my opinion has changed remotely significantly since I did that previous, like, mini review on it. I don't remember everything I said, but I think these thoughts that I'm expressing now about the entirety of it, these are the thoughts and memories about it, the things that have really held with me over the course of going through this overall long time now. Because each of these routes are not short by themselves. And then you go back another route, and another route, and another route. Then you get a little burned out on it, and then... But I've enjoyed every single route, and I really only come back to them when I felt like I was ready for them. Honestly, every single time I've come back to it, between Makina's and AMANE's route, which really are the ones I've come back to for, I've always tried... Or no, Sachi's and AMANE's, my bad. I got it mixed up. Between those, like, in each case, it's like, I felt like ready to get back into it, like, months. Like, I probably would have started this, like, 3-4 months earlier if it was just, like, when I felt like I was ready to get back into it. And then life happens. stuff on the channel happens. Fun stuff. So yeah, I am rambling and rambling and rambling and rambling. Ultimately, the Fruit of Grisaia. I'm not going to do Sakaki's route. I'm not. Not on the channel, at least. I might do it on my own, particularly because I was told that if I do the sequels to this, it is important to know. If I do it, I'll at least do a short video on my thoughts on it, at the very least. At minimum, that is what I'll do if I do the route and plan to do future sequels. Which, honestly, doing the sequels and whatnot, which I've heard exist, and AMANE's ending really makes me confused about. The only thing I really know about them is that they tend to assume all the routes are true in some way. I'm not exactly sure how, but you know, the future will tell that, because I will eventually come back to it. I will want to do those someday. When? I don't know. One day. One day. But if I do that before that, I'll do Sakaki's route and at least do a short video, or maybe two, or whatever, just on my feelings on it, and general reactions and opinions and that sort of thing. At the minimum, however long or whatever that is, if I do end up doing that. So that means, because I do plan to do the sequels one day, I will do that video one day. I'm not trying to commit to I'm trying to be non-committal, but I intend to do this all one day. The only exception to this is I stop making videos for the channel, which I don't see ending anytime soon. I have no reason to feel as though I stopped doing this. I enjoy it quite a bit. So, the Fruit of Grisaia. My final feelings on this game. Yes, I haven't done a route, and honestly, it's the one that compels me the most, and the fact that the character routes aren't my favorite part of this means that I'm not particularly too interested in jumping in and trying to do just another route on the one that I'm least interested in. Plus, I try not to show everything in my Let's Plays of visual novels, because there's still something out for you guys to go do. For you guys to go explore and check and stuff like that. That's like the point behind me either not doing certain endings in visual novels, or not doing certain routes, or not doing all the routes, that sort of thing. Typically, I try not to do absolutely everything, basically. Unless it's necessary. And sometimes I do them all, etc, etc, etc. Right, I'm rambling. Oh my goodness, I ramble. But this is Fruit of Grisaia. I've been on this for so long, I want to get all my thoughts out. Okay. So, Fruit of Grisaia. Very good game. Amazing common route. Albeit it's been a while, so those are just my distant memories on it at this point. Character routes. In terms of my favorite, you know what? I'm not going to list which ones are my favorite. I'm too disconnected from the Michiru and Machina routes to have really strong, fair comparisons to make to the current ones. So no, I liked all of them. I did. Whatever my opinions I said at the time, those are probably the most honest opinions you're going to get. You can compare them between them. If you really want to know which ones are my favorite, they're all good. They're all worth the time I put into them at the very least, at absolute minimum. Musically, honestly, it's really well made. Like, all the tracks are really well crafted and fit tones and everything extremely well. There's a few of them that are quite memorable too, but there aren't that many, ultimately. Artistically, I thought it was very consistent throughout. It's probably the prime example of what you'd expect from just a quality-made visual novel in terms of its visual aspects. It didn't really try to do much more. The little chibi scenes are nice and do a good job of changing the tone for some of those scenes. But it didn't really seem like it was that ambitious, but from what it did, it refined it very well. Story-wise, I'll say it didn't really have a story. You could say Yuuji's story is the story, but it's not really the story of any of them. It's more just like, throw you down, go through common route, have fun. Oh, pick a girl, figure out more about them. Oh, want more? Go pick another girl, figure out more about them. And rinse, repeat, and then not really have a connecting theme. So I suppose it's sort of held back by the fact that there isn't a real connecting aspect of everything to really give you a sense of finality and climax to it all. So it definitely feels like it might, because of the nature of the different routes and how they're not as connected, it goes out on a bit of a whimper. A little bit. Because, like, this is good, this is a good ending, but it feels like the ending to a route, not the ending to the game or anything like that. So, Storytelling wise, I already talked about pacing. You know my opinions on the pacing in this. Like, I felt like the common route was excellently paced, but I honestly don't feel as though any of the character routes were excellent in that regard. I feel as though they had a lot of moments that really stood out as being badly paced at times. Not for all of them. A lot of these routes were long, so even if it was just like a fourth of it that was badly paced, then it would still be hours of being, this really should get along quicker, sort of thing like that. So, ultimately, I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I have been rambling for how long now? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to cut at least a little bit of this out in post, so... You know what? If you've stuck around for all these goddamn motherfucking episodes of Grisaia, this is taking a while, then thank you. I appreciate you coming along on this journey with me. If you're just here to watch a route or, I don't know, complain that I don't like the game like you do, then thank you too. You gave me a view. Thanks. Not that I care that much about that, but as long as you guys enjoy what you want, feel free to suggest other visual novels that you may feel as though I'd like, that you guys would like to see my reactions of, or live vicariously through me again, even though I probably won't agree with you entirely on your opinions, etc, 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 etc. Feel free to suggest some more. As a note on that, because there's similarities, key visual novels, stuff like AMANE, that's the sort of stuff that I actually have watched animes of for a lot of them. So those are probably not going to be suggestions I'll be able to act on in the same way as I would others. So feel free to make suggestions. After this, I'm going back to doing Fate Stay Night for Heaven's Feel route, and once I finish up with that, I won't really have any other long visual novel on the docket, and I'll probably be looking for another, because I always like to have one good long visual novel going on my channel at any given time. So, I'll see you all next time, whenever that may be. And ultimately, remember the words of Kazuki. Thank you. And the words of Echo. Drive safely, everyone.